Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order this public meeting of the Board of Johnson County Commissioners on this Monday, January 23rd, 2023 at 10 o'clock a.m. If you'd care to pray with us, please do, and then we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you bow with me for a moment of prayer, please? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for being our Redeemer and Savior. Dear Lord, at this time, that so many people are seeking direction. So many people seem to be in despair. I would just pray that they would come to you, dear Lord, for the guidance in their life and for the comfort that you provide each and every one of us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have court services, approval of employee extension of time, and then a number 2 also.
It's got military escorts.
Hello. Tony Povinelli with Community Corrections, speaking on behalf of Court Services
Is that mic on?
He's getting it.
with Chief Deputy Barnhart. Angela's asking for employee extension of time for Shannon Chambers to be able to use her benefit time. Give it additional time for benefit time. She was not able to get it in last year due to the creation of the CIT team and all of the time constraints that starting that program has consumed.
I think the basic gist of it is they've just spent so much time here because this was a mid-year thing to push the creation of the CIT program that there were a lot of trainings they were attending, a lot of conferences they had to go to at the beginning here. So an extension of that time would be helpful to get her to be able to use that benefit time.
And just clarification, that is 22.75 hours.
I
I believe you've got
22.5 or 22.75. I know.
22.75.
access to better
Okay.
numbers than either of us have.
I would move for approval. I do know that they have put a lot of time in with her function. She is
End of date use.
end of February. Month and a half.
I think a month and a half is very gracious. Thank you.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve into by the end of February. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 2, sir.
We are
This will
looking
be
for
pending
approval.
legal. I'm sorry, pending legal.
Yes. Looking for approval of the BI agreement. I know that Tiffany and Adam have been working on it for some time and communicating with BI. And I think that we've come up with an agreement that we like. It's short term.
I appreciate you guys streamlining this. I know it's been a up and down over the last year dealing with that through community corrections.
Yes, believe it or not, they are pushing hard to continue our business, which is far cry from where we were at when in March when I came.
I know Sheena worked on it when she was here under council, and these two have worked on it. So I know there's been a lot of effort and a lot of different paths that thing has taken over the last year. So I would move to approve
Second.
I have a motion and a second pending legal.
Pending legal.
pending legal. Sorry.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Court Administrator, ratification of state CASA grant application, ratification of state CASA capacity building grant application.
Gina Johnson, Court Administrator. These are just the regular yearly CASA grants. I'm working on getting the timing of these requests made better.
We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I would move for both 1 and 2 under court administrator for the grants.
Second.
Have a motion, a second for 1 and 2. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheena. Health Department approval of contract with JR Promotions pending legal.
Betsy Swearingen, Director of the Health Department. We're just asking permission to enter into a contract to rent some billboard space for advertising. There's a big lead push right now. I don't know if you've heard the commercials on the radio or not, big markets and on TV. So we're just looking to do something on billboards to push lead and to push other services that we're providing.
I would assume these are under some grant you've got.
They are, but they're being paid for through grant funds with direction in that grant to spend the funds on promotional items.
Is this first time for the health department to put anything on billboard?
This will be, and we're looking at putting, if it works out the way that we'd like it to, there's a new digital billboard in Whiteland. So we can change that up to 8 different messages that will rotate. We can change that at any time with no other cost associated with it. And then we'll put a static one down going northbound on 31 near 252.
Okay.
Kind of come in the middle of the county and at the end of the county coming in.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. I guess my concern is what do people not know that the health department does, I guess?
You'd be amazed. We get phone calls on, even like our Sharps containers are a perfect example. We have that service. A lot of people don't know that we provide it. A lot of people don't know that they can come get their kids vaccinated many times for free, other than an admin cost through our offices. Just different things that we provide.
It just, to me, that just seems,
One would think, but no.
well, and I appreciate, and they do need to know. I don't disagree. I've just,
Sure, I appreciate that, but a lot of people don't, so.
have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Again, that was pending legal.
Thank you.
Thank you. Clerk approval of no ink maintenance service agreement. I don't think she's here, but it's
No,
just a service. agreement.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Museum, and prior to that, though, Ms. Auditor, do you need to know who motion and who second? Do I need to verbally say that so you get
No,
it, or do
I
you
heard
care?
them. I
Okay.
got it. Thank you.
Stop us if you, I guess, need.
If you
Okay.
need to know, please let me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because I know I'm starting to take notes at the IACC state meetings. And I can't keep up with the motions in 2 seconds, so. Thought I'd ask. I appreciate it. Sorry about that, gentlemen. Go ahead.
I'm Chuck Bailey with Family Search. My wife and I are the local volunteers. We're filming in the basement of the museum. We've been there since the 1st of August. We were before you last 11 months ago, February 28th, to get the original approval for this project. At that time, we had 16 collections that we wanted to digitize. And since we've been in the museum daily, we have 7 additional collections we'd like to get approved. So we have an addendum to add 7 more collections to be captured and filmed and digitized. There's no cost to the county to do that. It's just a matter of everyone agreeing to, we'll do some more work than what we originally planned.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion second pending legal.
Okay.
Pending
Yes or
legal.
no?
Sorry, there's a lot of red on here. I should.
Well, yeah, there's just some language that we wanted to tweak on that memo regarding jurisdiction, some other things. So they have it, they're reviewing it. And once we get it back, then we can.
We'll let our attorneys work with you.
that'll
Can you
work.
give me a little example? I'm going to ask, can you give me an example of what this entails?
Of the additional agreement,
No, I mean, of what you're actually doing.
we're digitizing the marriage records and the probate records. The state archivist has requested all the county clerks to complete through all 92 counties, as well as other genealogical material would be helpful for people trying to trace their ancestors.
Bringing it to the modern century.
It is.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Pending legal. Highway. Request bid dates Director to 2023 concrete street overlay project.
Yes, good morning, Daniel Johnston, the highway engineer. That item, that is our request. Your approval of your second meeting of February 27th as the bid due date for that project, the 2023 concrete streets overlay project. This is our community crossings award project from last fall.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, sir. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
Emergency management approval to apply for IDHS grants, 2023 SHSP, 2023 EMPG, 2023 EMPG competitive, and 2023 HMEP. If we could, we'll do all four of those together.
Yeah, Stephanie Seasting, Emergency Management Director. It's just my year.
Approve.
You're probably wanting an approval, aren't you?
These are on your.
Well, I think you guys want me to get it.
I move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. How's our National Weather Service report? Have you got one?
Heavy
here?
wet snow.
Heavy wet? Well, at
It
least it'll be
started
wet.
rain, go to like sleet and then be heavy snow. And now they're saying maybe we'll get 5 to 8 inches.
Yeah, it's all that north, especially north of 70 is what I heard this morning, if that's
Yeah, well,
still
now
true.
they've moved it a little south.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I was
so
gonna go to the home show on Thursday.
You're in four-wheel drive, you can go.
That's true.
You can still go. Take your dog sled.
And then I have the proclamation of the Johnson County Comprehensive Emergency Management Plan for the commissioners.
You want to read some, or is that just?
No.
No.
You know how long
My
that is?
gosh, no.
I know, it's long. I just want to know if you were up for it, Steph.
No, not today. This is a yearly thing you guys do.
Move to approve.
Second. You good with it?
Mhm.
Have a motion second. Any further? Or you can read it. Would you like to read it under
No,
discussion?
we don't have 20 minutes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We can make it available on our website. Anybody wants to read it.
Yeah. The next one is to adopt the Johnson County Continuity of Government Operations Plan. I've updated all the
I
new
saw you
elected
made the
officials.
changes. Put everybody in the right place. I
Yeah.
move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Advisory Council.
Yes, the appointment of my Emergency Management Advisory Council for 2023.
There's some statutory things on there, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah. Is there any changes you wanted to make to that stuff, or is it?
No, the only one is the town of Edinburgh, Miriam Rooks, the town council member, is going to be the
Be
small
the only
town.
changed?
Yeah.
Okay. So you still got civil defenses, McDaniel.
Yep.
So
All those that I have listed are the same.
I would move just changing Miriam out with the actual setting council.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5 is pending legal, just for
Yes, it is 5 and 6.
6 is on back, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's just
Memorandum of
approval of our-
understanding.
Yeah, MOUs that I use. And those are for emergency transportation and shelters with local entities, which are schools and churches. And then the number 6 is the emergency provisions with local businesses. Those are like the grocery stores, the hardware stores. In case we have a disaster, we have to go get provisions.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I would move to approve 5 and 6 under emergency management pending legal.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thanks, Steph.
Sheriff, and approval of towing service contracts, B, C, and F are pending legal. Do we need explanation?
No, I don't need any explanation. I move to approve just pending legal on B, C, and F.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further?
There's a lot of them.
Yes, there is. And the more the merrier, right?
We used to be limited to only 3. I think you opened that.
That's correct.
Now there's
It's a little more fair throughout the county that way.
Yeah, and it's, it helps a lot too when one's tied up because we were getting where it would stack up. So having multiple has definitely been beneficial.
Rotate through.
Yep.
So hopefully it'll take over quick if we get a winter storm coming in.
Yeah, they're gonna be busy.
They're gonna be busy.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, chief. Under Commissioners, approval of lease agreement with Terra Treatment Center, Inc. for ends.
I didn't understand that whole thing.
Were you here when we did that?
I,
I can't
they said there
remember.
was an attachment photo on there.
Yeah,
I
you were
didn't have
here.
any attachment photo on my
Yes.
packet.
We just basically allow them to use that parking lot. It's a county owned parking lot there by ends. And we allow them to use it for parking instead of our vehicles being parked there like they used to be.
So Terra Treatment Center uses it.
It's, and they own ends.
Oh, I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that.
See?
I learned something.
learn
today. It was
something every
good getting
day.
up today. It was
Yeah.
good getting up today. I
Yeah.
didn't. I was thinking Terra Treatment Center and
They own it.
ends
They
and
own it.
strip of ground.
And,
I didn't.
That's where a lot of their help comes from. is people that-
but this is for that, this is for that
Parking.
The parking,
the
Yeah.
strip of ground, where the sidewalk,
yeah.
they do all that landscaping, it allows them to use that. Where their tables and chairs are outside.
Wasn't, didn't know that.
Move to approve.
I'll second that since I didn't know what that was.
I have a motion second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It's good to learn.
I did. I
good to learn.
was, I couldn't, it wouldn't, wires weren't touching there. I couldn't figure that one out on Terra Treatment Center and land.
Well, at least you got the wires to touch. Mine never touch. Appointment of council member to the ARPA committee.
I would nominate John Mullers for that. John's experience that he's had through the state and been on the council before. He's just really sharp when it comes to numbers, and things of that nature.
I knew you were gonna jump me on that one. I know John's very capable. I was thinking John Dittmers.
I know, but John's just now coming onto the council, and I think is not having that experience that Mullers has with.
But from a timing standpoint, I know
Yeah.
John Mallards is working full time and Dittmers is getting ready to retire, so he would have a little bit more free time. So I guess it comes down to Mr.
Well,
Baird.
I just, and I've talked to, I've talked to John Mallers. And they're both very capable, and John says he does have time and would be happy to consider doing it, but do we only have to have one?
We've only got the one vacancy right now.
Can we expand the committee? Wouldn't hurt.
Um,
I mean, the committee's just for recommendations anyway, and both of them might have some input that would be valuable. Is that something we can consider?
That's really saying, we just put
I
the
don't think
board
so.
together.
If you guys want to.
Just makes it even, but again, it's just it's an advisory
Maybe
board.
lopsided. There's 6 on there now.
You're gonna give the
That puts
council
7.
more power.
So just, it's only
Still,
advisory.
it has to come from here.
Yeah, it's only advisory, so we'd still be.
If you want to put them both on there,
What's your
Ron, do
thoughts
you have
on
a
that?
problem with that?
Commissioner. I just think that they both would be valuable as far as making recommendations. And again, it's, if it was board that determined or made decisions, but it's just an advisory board to help us figure out what to do with those funds. And you're the chairman now. What do you think? What's your?
No, I don't have a problem. What? What Barb say?
Wouldn't that be
There'd be
four?
4 on there.
No, there's just 2 now. That way, yeah, there'd be 4.
There's
There'd be
3
4.
and 3 right now.
But again, it's an
I know.
advisory council.
Yeah, it's an advisory
It's an
council.
advisory.
Maybe 4 council people on there?
No, because Rob's not on council anymore.
Well, if we added another one, if we added both Johns to this, that would put it up to 7. There's 6 now.
So Jonathan T and Ron.
Jonathan T and Ron are setting, and then
Gotcha.
Dittmers and Mallers would be the other 2. So I would put it to 4, but like you said, it is an advisory council. And they have brought, I mean, there's been some good insight brought to that.
The
Arbor
other side
committee.
of that is how much more discussion that might bring.
There's the chairman.
You know, obviously, the more input you have on any subject and the different viewpoints that might come forth would be beneficial. I'm just trying to think of if it's even number and we vote on something, even though we have the discretion of overriding that, it's, to me, it's, in other words, if you got 3 people that vote one way and
We
we
did that
3
one.
vote the other, and then we override them, kind of puts them in a position where they think, well, heck, my vote don't amount to anything anyway, why even vote? And I'm always, I want to be cautious of that, not putting people in a position where they feel like their input is moot. But
That makes
beyond
sense.
that, I go back to, they say when you walk into a courtroom, who's the smartest person in the courtroom? And it's the jury because of the number of people on it. So I don't really have a problem with it. Beyond that, if it gets to be a problem, I guess we'll throw one of them off.
There you go.
Or if you allow me just to kind of meditate on this a little bit and try to get the wires to connect. We could just go ahead and prove one of them and then at the ARPA committee meeting, discuss possibly putting another one on and get the feel for it there. Do you maybe think that'd be a better idea? Let them be involved in that too.
Yeah, give them a chance to have some input.
You good with me saying?
Your call.
I'll second John Mallers, since I have had conversation with him. I don't want John to feel like I've bailed out on him. So we have a motion and a second for John. Any further discussion? Mallers?
Yeah, you better clarify with council. There's only 4 of them.
Yeah.
4 Johns on that council.
We got a lot of Johns, which is good because, never mind. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I love these discussions. Board appointments. Buffer zone, town of Edinburgh is the first on the list. We have one that has put in for it, Justin Lawler.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Community Corrections Advisory Board. We have 7 appointments. Is that correct? Layperson, we have 3. We have 3 applications in. And I see Commissioner Walls, Chief Barnhart, and Cassie Vandegrift. The other one is, we have not received.
Yeah,
a-
Tom only showed up to a couple of meetings. He wasn't at too many meetings, was he, chief? I've only seen
And we.
you or chief, yeah.
We've received no application from them. So really, there's only 3 that are there. You good?
I'll let you motion. I'm the one.
Oh, yeah, I move to approve Kevin Walls, Andrew Barnhart, and Cassie Vanderbilt.
I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome, sir. Probation Officer Board position, Mr. Commodity.
To approve.
Second.
Motion second. Any further? Am I pronouncing that correct, Steve? Commode. I like Commodity better. It just, that just sounds, it flows. Can we put a like, never mind. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Mental Health Administrator Board position, again, we have one on Kennedy.
That's not a conflict
Can
of
I-
interest, is it? Her working in adult and child?
She has.
Huh?
It's a requirement. It's a requirement of the board
Oh, is it? Okay.
to have her on there. And she's got some good insight on
Yeah.
the meetings. So,
Move to approve.
second.
Have a motion second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under Victim Advocate Board position, Robert McGee is the only, and he has applied for reappointment.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ex-offender Todd Cook is the only one that we have, and he's applied for reappointment.
Approved.
Second.
Have a motion second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Convention Visitor and Tourism Board one. We have several on this.
So we just need one more.
Correct.
Yes, with the other two, we did. Looks like there's no issues with the list, so if anyone has a.
And what do you think about like Kevin Leonard? He's with Parks Department. Is that a conflict or is that? I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
And I would like Kevin, but I was just thinking about the park department has and will be applying to
Applying
the
for grants.
tourism board for grant money. So I guess he could recuse himself when it comes to that vote, but I'm not sure that. Guess the legal team might have some input on that. I don't know.
We talked about that last time. But is requesting it from himself, if the board just-
Yeah, it's our issue is the same. If he's applying for a grant directly on behalf of the Parks Board, it could be. So it may be best to. Look elsewhere.
I know, Brian, you've talked highly of Brian Alvey. I mean, he served on there before.
Brian's always been my recommendation back on there because all the money he has saved us by going after the Hirams and, the money we were spending there, and him and John Wells have just been a real strong advocate for keeping that thing in line as much as possible and saving us money. So I just felt like he did a good job when he was on there. There were some circumstances where he resigned because of some things that were going on. And I think probably it's time to let him go back and continue doing what he was doing to start with, but that's just my.
I know Justin Griggs would also be a good addition to that also. But I think I'm gonna make a recommendation for Brian Alvey today.
Second.
Have a motion and second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jim. I think that'll be a good place. Drainage Board. One board member. We have Mr. Canary and Mr. Hickman.
Just so you know, Mr. Hickman has applied to be on Planning Commission. So if you appoint him to Drainage Board, he cannot be on Planning Commission. Just as an FYI.
Okay, I
I'll
need to
leave
ask.
that
some
to you
que-
guys.
I need to ask some questions here on the Drainage Board. Whose seats up on the Drainage Board?
Who's what?
Who seats up?
Who seats up on the Drainage Board?
One second.
I'm not on that board.
I am, and I don't know of any seats that are open, so that's why I'm asking. I mean, we've got a pretty,
I think it's Mr. Canary now, is it not? So
no,
he's,
no, there's Bob Etter, Tom Doherty, Chad Paul, and myself and Andrew Cochran. That's
Charlie
it.
Canary's on the drainage board. eh?
No, he's
Charlie's
not.
not.
I don't know of anybody that's up on the drainage board. So for
Table.
expediency purposes, let's-
Tiffany's checking right now.
let's push that one
we'll
on
move,
right now. We'll
move
just
past
wait,
that and come back to it.
pass it.
How about Johnson County Impact Fee Review Board? We have the CPA. And we have one choice of Mr. Kreider.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Engineer, we have one for that position, Mr. Newport.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion, second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Real estate agent. Let's, we have two, Tanya Smythe and then Terry Lancaster.
Go with Tanya Smythe.
Second.
A motion second for Tanya Smythe. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor? It used to be Smythe. Somehow it changed. I don't know how that,
I bet
happened.
Smith.
I call her Smith.
Yeah, it used to be Smythe.
It's just a odd spelling.
A friend of my wife's. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Plan, oh, let's go back to Drainage Board.
Yes. I'm gonna jump you here just a second. I'm gonna table the drainage board thing.
Motion second to table. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're tabled. Plan Commission, we have two.
For Mr. Canary.
Yeah. We have two.
Yes. That's what it says on my list.
What do you want to do, Mr. Hickman,
All right.
Mr. Canary, Mr. Hickman?
Uh,
You good with that since you sat on that board? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a motion and second for,
I need to recuse myself almost from Charlie. We've been associated on boards so long together. Charlie brings a lot of assets to that board.
if nothing else, he brings a lot of age to it with you and him both, right?
Between the two of us, we did.
A lot of experience. Let me rephrase it. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now
That
down,
takes care of the drainage board that we tabled because now we only have one and Hickman's on the plan commission. He can't be on the drainage.
Well,
board.
I've got an issue. I just think somebody hasn't filled their paperwork out, because they've given me no indication they want
Okay.
to step off, and I
Yeah.
don't know if it's just he's the president of the drainage board right now. I just don't know if he has mentioned nothing about stepping off or out.
a lot of people miss it,
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
All
So,
right.
yeah, we get that a lot.
let me call him when we get off here. So,
Burgersville Fire Protection District Board out of White River Township.
I'm gonna move back with Miss Angela Morris.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Needham. Don't need the second board member appointed. We have three.
I don't know any of these people, so I'll depend on you guys to make a
I
recommendation.
was leaning on you. We need two or just
Just
one?
one.
One.
I would go with Mr. Copeland. And Copeland's on half the ground in Needham Township anyway, so.
I'll go with Stephen Copeland.
So,
Change that. Mr. West. Motion second by Mr. Walls. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Nineveh, we have applied for reappointing Mr. Hendrickson.
We got
which-
to do Clark Township.
We gotta go Clark's.
So sorry, no, I already went by that, sorry. We already appointed him.
approved.
He was already.
He's already appointed.
Okay, it's
Oh, we
just
did
on there.
appoint him. Okay, I got
Sorry.
you. Yeah, we appointed him on
Be glad to get this
12/19.
done.
You're
You need
right.
to call your eye doctor, those aren't working. Just saying.
You're right.
Then
Well, I saw his name on there twice. I thought maybe the second time we had. appointed.
pickleball game's improved though.
Oh, yeah.
That's what counts. Kevin, let's go back to Nineveh. Kevin Hendrickson's applied for reappointment, which I know that's the recommendation there.
Move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. Any further?
We're on the last page. I know.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. White River, City of Greenwood, 1. And we have 1. And that's also the recommendation that I have is for that one.
Move to approve Mary Lou Mayor, is it?
Second.
Should be Meyer. Mayor?
Mayor?
Okay, we're going with Mayor.
Yeah.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. White River Township. This is to fulfill the remainder of John Meller's term, which expires 12/31/2024. I do have a recommendation if you guys don't.
I'm open.
And the only reason I do is because I've received it is Mr. Berg. Is that
Daniel
correct,
Berg?
Chief? Yeah,
Move to
Daniel
approve
River.
Daniel Burke.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Amen.
Motion carries. And we still got,
Amen.
One
We
we
still
gotta
got
take
one.
care
It
of.
should be an easy one.
okay. That's always a lengthy job. New and old business, claims and credit card.
Ooh, under claims, I've got one of the coroner. Symbol Arts LLC for $1,209.10. I got no idea what that is. Betsy still here? I got one of Johnson County Health Department operating supplies, $36.20, and that was paid to the Johnson County Health Department. I was a little confused on how the health department paid the health department $36.20, but don't know. I'm the same way.
Unless
somebody,
they reimburse somebody, but if they reimburse somebody, they would have had a personal, I will find it.
Okay. Galinsky, is he here? I saw him earlier. Bob wasn't. Under fleet, he had an expense for $1,023.87 as cages for animal control. And I thought that should have come out of animal control's budget.
I
Oh,
got,
there he is. Hi,
I
Bob.
got it, Bob. Those are for cages that go in the vehicles,
Yeah.
like we would for the sheriff's office or anything else. Fleet always supplies those
Oh, okay.
that are mounted in the vehicles. That always goes through fleet.
K9.
Thank you, Bob.
I am correct. Bob. Yeah, I got it.
And juvenile detention had a charge Greek's Pizzeria for $78.46 for committee meeting. I don't know about that. Man, how do you
It's probably a grant for that.
have a committee
Purpose.
meeting at Greek's Pizzeria, but anyway, $78.46.
You know, that
Nothing for the sheriff, Andy.
that
You-
seems to happen. You showed up for nothing, Chief.
I tried.
We feel more secure with you back there.
I'm just gonna bring it up one more time. That's not t-shirt.
I was just wondering if it's T-shirts Express.
But we continue to, as a county, spend a lot of money through Amazon. I've just, on the credit cards, the amount of purchases we make from Amazon every month, to me, is just inexcusable when so many of those purchases could be made at local businesses. especially when it comes to office supplies and things of that nature. We really need to support our local businesses, and putting that money through Amazon is not doing the county any benefit at all. I have a number of issues with Amazon, but the fact that it makes it difficult for local businesses to stay in business and compete with them. I just think as a county government and using taxpayers' dollars, we should support the businesses that are in our community. So I'm gonna let it go at that, but I would venture to say that 50% or more of the credit card charges go to Amazon.
One thing I don't see it on this round of claims is what our total claim amount is. It used to be on there to heading.
At
all
the
these
top.
claims. It used to be at the top. It's. And
I
I'm
know.
sure not gonna
I
add
thought I
all this
saw it.
up. Tell
I have
me
an
where it's
answer
at.
for you.
Well, it's
The
usually,
credit cards broke out separately, but
it's
all the
usually at the
claims,
top of your credit card, just a credit card payment's all I've ever seen. I haven't seen a total.
there used to be
Yeah,
a total.
I've never seen one.
I don't know that I've ever seen a total.
Just on the
claims.
credit card I have, but
Okay, I've seen it usually at the heading
Is
up
it really?
here. It used to have them. So
must be too small for me and Ron to see.
Yeah,
just to
there's
know, because I mean, it fluctuates.
no total. We do have a total on credit card charges.
Yeah, credit card, I see that broke out on credit card charges.
That's where I always thought it was.
Yeah.
Amy, is that possible to put that?
I have an answer for him. It's for bank deposit slips.
Oh, and it comes out of your account. Thank you.
Okay.
Didn't think of that one, did you?
No,
See, we just learned something.
yeah.
We learned something else today. Commissioner minutes for approval 1/9/2023.
We didn't, did we approve the claim?
No, we did not. I'm sorry. Go back to claims.
So I move to approve.
Second.
A motion second. Any further? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now Commissioner minutes for approval 1/9/2023.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now, we're at public comment, and I think that's where you gentlemen come into play. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if there's someone there here to speak on that.
If you're not asleep.
Sorry about the long meeting, but
Morning, gentlemen. I'm John Beardsley, the commander of the Honor Guard at Franklin American Legion Post 205. I have with me Roger Plummer and Jay Brewer, who are also members of the Honor Guard. We've come before you this morning to request your permission in writing to mount a 24-inch by 36-inch bronze tablet on the east side of the Civil War Monument in front of our courthouse to honor Clinton Armstrong, the only Medal of Honor recipient born and raised in Franklin, Johnson County. He was one of the volunteers in an attack conducted by General Grant at Vicksburg in July 1863. The attack was intended to deceive the enemy and cause them to believe it was the main attack. It was believed to be a suicide mission because it was conducted across an open field. Most of the men were killed or injured. Clinton was shot twice in the legs and once in the abdomen. He laid in the field until dark to avoid being shot again, and then made it back to the Union lines after dark. After the war ended, he moved to Cincinnati and attended medical school and became a doctor. He's buried in Winchester, Indiana. He did not receive the Medal of Honor until 30 years after the war, and Johnson County residents lost track of him. We intend to dedicate this bronze tablet to Armstrong on May the 30th of 23 at 11 a.m. at the Memorial Day ceremony on the courthouse lawn. Major General Marty Umbarger, retired, will be our speaker and will do the dedication. The entire cost of this project will be paid by the Honor Guard and donations from business and citizens. we're asking that you give us a letter authorizing us to complete this project. Thank you for your consideration. And here's a copy of the tablet.
And I think your proposal is admirable. One of our considerations was we need to put some parameters upon applicants for such a venture as this. In other words, we have to have something so that we don't get a proliferation of people coming forward wanting to do likewise. I think would be easily established here, one Civil War II Medal of Honor, to have those kind of requirements on anything that would be placed on that monument.
I mean, these gentlemen brought up to me right before the meeting, we talked, it is a Civil War monument.
It is.
And I don't think in the 160 years since the Civil War, there's going to be anything else come up. And I know our museum curator has researched it heavily, as these gentlemen have too. And with that being a Civil War monument, I mean, and I brought up, if anybody in another conflict gets the Medal of Honor and they've not asked to be on the Civil War, because it would not, it will have to go someplace else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm kind of in favor. I am in favor, not kind of, I am in favor of this. So, I mean, what they're asking just for writing, because they've got to invest a substantial amount of money to put this in here. So,
I agree.
and I know we're going to redo the sidewalk and monument, get the fountain working and all that stuff. And I think it'd be a great dedication on May 30th for them to be able to.
I'm just not
accomplish this.
sure it will be ready by then.
Well, I mean, they can still have their ceremony and then we can mount the plaque at the given time when we need to do it. So,
And as long as you gentlemen understand that that fountain and that monument are going to be redone starting this spring. So it may not be ready for anything to be mounted on it until it is complete.
Could still have your
You
dedication.
can still have your dedication, but as far as the placing of the plaque may not be on that date of May.
Is the surface on the east side of that monument going to be modified?
All of it's going to be redone. It's going to be cleaned up and all of it repaired. And we will not want to take something off that's on there to do that. So, and that's something that's been in the plans for about 1.5 years now. We finally got the ability to do it financially. So all that gets redone. The sidewalks all get tore out and that gets redone and all more new. So it looks better and the fountain will be repaired and will be put in working order, hopefully. It does not work right now.
It would be greatly appreciated if at all possible to have that done prior to May 30th, so we can, you don't think it will be?
Oh, it
No,
won't
sir,
be done.
It won't be. The project is a large project. And I said that from get-go that this would have to wait till after that repairs.
Well, we can just have it there and have it on display then
Sure.
and mount it whenever it's available.
Yes.
yeah, we'll get with you on mounting. I'd rather you guys keep it for safekeeping. And then when we're ready to mount, we can mount it.
But the dedication can still happen as you're planning and given to him or whatever at that point.
Now, we had planned to, I think, Roger, correct me if I'm wrong, we had planned to use, I think, the people from the monument company here in town to mount it. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we were gonna cover that cost also. If that's all right with you.
No, that's not a problem.
So you wouldn't have any cost in this.
And we appreciate that,
Yeah.
sir. I don't think any of us have any issue with it being done at all. It's just the fact of the construction issue that we're going to have.
Well, we'd like to have a letter on that, stating that your approval on that, and then we'll mount it when you tell us it's ready to go.
Okay. And we'll also put in the letter that it needs to wait till after the construction is
That's
done.
fine. Yeah, we'll do that.
And we'll get that, our county attorney, Adam, will work on that or some, one of the
Thank
two. of them.
Probably need to take action on 2.6, but we'll get it at that point in time. So.
Okay. Well, just what I would ask you to do is come back and put on for the official agenda. This is kind of a public comment portion of it. If you come back for the regular agenda, just ask to be put on it and we'll take formal action here. And in that, we'll release a letter.
And you will not have to be present if, just as long as you get it back on the agenda, which would take a request from you to put it back on the agenda and then we'll get it approved on.
Is that for the next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just call or talk to Adam after the meeting, but get you put on the agenda. It's pretty easy.
And then that way you won't have to come and sit and wait for the meeting.
Did you learn anything today?
Well, we always do.
He can't tell you what he learned, but something connected somewhere. We do appreciate all you do and your service, and thank you very much. And I think this is a good program to look at.
Thank you.
So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. So there'll be no approval on that. This will be put on the February agenda, just so everyone knows. Anything else? Any other comments? All hearts free and clear?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and second. We're adjourned. Thank you. Sorry about the long meeting.